Hello, babies. You thought I wouldn't come back, didn't you? You thought I was gonna bullshit you again, but I'm back now. Let's go ahead and get the introduction out the way. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Dynamite D. I'm the Deacon of Danger, the Duke of Destruction, and the dealer of doom, gloom, and everything that goes boom. And I gotta come and talk to you about All Out. That's right, last night we had the All Out pay-per-view. The show was fucking fantastic. I was satisfied, and actually more surprised than I thought I was about a certain match. But I'm going to go ahead, give you my own personal thoughts, a little bit of analysis, and actually promoting all the new positives that they are bringing in with the type of wrestling that they're trying to present. So, let's go ahead and get down to the nitty-gritty, because I am going to talk about the buy-in, because it was a good pre-show that has implications for future shows. So, let's go ahead and knock this out. First, let's go and turn off that TV, get the lights right, get this chocolate all smooth. All right, but seriously, though. Here's the thing. The buy-in, it had two matches. It had the Women's Casino Battle Royale to determine one of the contenders for the AEW Women's title. And we had a tag team match, not necessarily not a buy-in to the tag tournament, but at the same time, a good showing for the direction of these two particular groups. Now then, the Women's Casino Battle Royale, I fucking loved it. It was great to me. It was good, honestly better than the Men's Casino Battle Royale. And that's not just taking in place on what it means and then how it furthers any particular stories or any particular wrestlers, but also because of the presentation, the way it went through, and I felt that it was completely satisfying. It was all serious business for those people who don't like the comedy shit, like in Maka Nakazawa. It wasn't an excessive ass spot fest, but we did get to see potential new recruits that could actually do something down the line in AEW. Now then, I said in my previous videos who I thought my Final Four would be. I believe my Final Four to be, I want to say, Kylie Ray, Nyla Rose, Brie Priestley, and Britt Baker. And we're going to see, and I'm going to address how well I did as far as who I would consider to win. But starting, let's go ahead and just wrap it up because I don't have that much detail. I'm not doing notes. I'm doing this shit raw, energy coming at you the only way I know how to do it. So forgive me for not knowing completely, and forgive me for not knowing everybody in the match. I did not. But when it comes down to it, Nyla Rose and her block opens it up, and the reason why I'm focusing more on Nyla is because Nyla basically puts a clean sweep in 3 minutes. That's fine, get it done. I was already expecting her to come off as a monster, and this is a good showing for her. That definitely gives credibility to her character as a serious threat in the women's division. Now that when the second block comes out, it's more interesting. There are still lesser knowns. There might have been one person who I might have known outside. I think Penelope Ford was the only name that I recognized in that group. But one name that I did come to know about because I liked how she was coming off was Big Swole. Big Swole, black chick coming out, chunking hands, and letting it be known she ain't even afraid not to go at it with Nyla Rose, and even managed to drop her down one time, which was fine. But again, just like with the first block, Nyla basically eliminates the majority of everybody. So by the time the third block comes, we need to have some serious threats coming in here, some big names to actually get us in, because at this point, we had more or less... We had little unknowns, and yes, they, had some nice spots, and they got the crowd behind them, but it wasn't what we need. That's why this third group mattered heavily to me. That's when you have Dr. Britt Baker. That's where you had Awesome Kong. That's where you had Brandy Rose, and I believe Allie was a part of that group. Yes, Allie was a part of the third group. Oh, and Leva Bates was in the first group. I'm sorry, I forgot about Leva Bates, but yes, Leva Bates was in the first group. She had the most shine out of anybody because when she was going to be eliminated, she pulled a Kofi Kingston with books, with the assistance of Peter Avalon. It was actually pretty funny, so I'll take that back. There was a little bit of comedy, but it was fine. It was fine. It was open. It was warm up, whatever. But now back to the third group. We started to get some serious threats. We have Britt Baker, who has been getting a lot of shine from AEW. We have Awesome Kong, who's always great, and then Brandy Rose comes in as a bit of a wild card. So that only leaves the bigger names in the fourth group to pop through, which I'm excited about them being a part of the company. I'm hoping that this is a relationship that gets furthered on. I'm curious about how many of these women are actual stay-ins or how many are just, interim contractees. I feel like, with AEW, how they should operate is that you do have your established employees, but you also do have independent contractors, aka the people that actually come out and do who work with the company on a paid basis, not just being exclusive to them or anything like that. So this is a great showing for them just off of their women alone. But we come in. We actually Nala gets a break because when Awesome Kong's in the ring, she starts to get her shine, beating on all these females, beating the bitch with a bitch. We get other people fighting. We get Allie going at it with Brandy. So the focus doesn't stay on Nala. Everybody else, by the time the third group comes on, is doing their own thing. We're getting more exchanges. It's turning into a proper match type. Instead of just, okay, schling, one little spot, schling. No, we're getting some actual exchanges. I'm loving it. And eventually it comes down to the point where everybody begins separating Brandy and Awesome and focusing on Awesome to try and get her out. Awesome does do pretty good. Now, obviously, Awesome hasn't been in the ring consistently like that. I don't even think she's really touring on the indies. So she does need a little bit of, give her a little bit of break in regards to the fact that she's not as dominating as she would be, but she's still coming back into this after an extensive time outside of it. I'm still gonna be positive about her potential coming back full time or on a semi-regular basis, just as long as she's treated properly and not just thrown into things knowing that she's not fully into it. But with the fourth group, that's the group I'm most excited about because that's where we have Jazz, that's where we have Till Piper, that's where we have Eva Lise. That's where Bree Priestley was, and unfortunately, there's one other person. I can't get a full group, but it's fine because before the fourth group even makes it all the way down, Britt Baker's already on B. Priestley's bumper, point blank. She dives through the mid rope to take that girl out. So continuing their feud from Fight for the Fallen, storylines are continuing. That's perfectly fine. Everybody comes in. Now the run of the litter in that fourth and final group is an ODB. Never mind, ODB. Yeah, we did it. So the grunt of that group is obviously going to be Till Piper. Till Piper, she's just not coming into the industry. She doesn't really have much experience. I'm hoping that what the AEW does is work on her to try and get a system down with, the developmental. And I can see them having potential because they are hiring actual veterans and guys who have experience in the business. And I think that they can do wonders for her. But the big moment outside of this fourth group is the fact that we have a bomb-ass stare-down between ODB, Jazz, Nyla Rose, and was Awesome there? Awesome was there too, yeah, because Awesome didn't get to take it out until really the end. So fact is that when that group came, the energy came, the crowd was behind it, everybody was excited, I was pumped, they were pumped, fucking ODB popping back. I did not expect it at all. It was great, and then they came with the Joker, number 21, and it was Mercedes Martinez. Now, I've seen Mercedes Martinez in the WWE's Mae Young Classic. She is a bad bitch, and she is a definite fucking wild card because she could fucking take it. And when she came in, she was cleaning fucking house. I mean, bitches be warned. Because I believe that Mercedes was the final four. Because after everything said and done, the final four turned out to be Mercedes Martinez, Nyla Rose, Britt Baker, and Bree Priestley. So the only thing that kept me from being right was the fact that Kylie Ray wasn't in this match. Other than that, my finals went down. And going into the final setup, it was a great workup. Literally, I had no clue who could have took it. Mercedes honestly got a little too cocky. She was doing the damn thing, but she got double teamed on by Bree Priestley and Britt Baker. Fucking Britt Baker got Bree Priestley, and Priestley said, "Fuck you, bitch." Caused her to be out, so that their feud is going to continue, and Nyla Rose is going to be one of the contenders for the AEW Women's Championship match on the debut show. That is going to be exciting. We're going to go ahead and get into the next opponent later on. Again, off the top, no notes, and I saw the show last night, so match orders might be wrong with me, but I have a general idea. But the next match that we have going into the buy-in is going to be Private Party versus Angelico and Jack Evans. Now then, I knew what the fuck it was. I didn't expect much in terms of a story to come out of it, but as you expected, you saw a damn good number of spots, damn good exchanges. Both groups trying to basically see who's the more dominant flying tag team in the division, and it was actually a really good showing. I fucking loved it. It was high energy. It kept the pace. It didn't really die down at any point to where the crowd didn't get behind it. The crowd was loud all night, and that was fucking great. But in the end, Private Party showed why they reserve all rights to be the top flying tag team in the division. And after the match, we get a beatdown from Jack Evans and Angelico. So obviously, they're going to be they are a definite heel team in the division. So now we have Angelico and Jack Evans as well as the Dark Order as official heels in the tag team division. That is fine with me. I like it. Cool, we can get going. Now then, everything said and done, let's take a look at the announcement team, because we're going to have Golden Boy, who signed in after the Fyter Fest show, and honestly, him and commentary fits because FGC commentators are very similar to boxing and pro wrestling commentators. They have to be quick with the response, be knowledgeable of what's going on, and honestly, Golden Boy did a phenomenal job then. He did a great job tonight. We also have Excalibur on the main commentary team, as well as JR. And the commentary team, I think they have officially found the formula that works for them. All men have great energy. They all can keep up with one another. They all have enough knowledge, especially JR being a veteran commentator in the thing, Excalibur being phenomenal, being, an indie commentator who has shown himself time and time again to be able to keep up there with JR, and Golden Boy being from his particular commentary background just fucking fits. I'm great. I'm sorry that we lost Alex Barbez on the commentary team. I had hopes for him, but honestly, he still has a phenomenal role with the company. I like his analysis ability, but it fits for him to be everywhere else as an interviewer or post-match commentator, as opposed to being in their lives. So I think that's fine with him. He's still with the company, which I'm happy for. And let's move on to the main show, because we're going to start things off with another bang. I'm talking about SCU versus Jurassic Express. Now then, for everybody knows, the SCU boys, when they come out and start a show with the mic, that's literally setting the tone, and the tone was already set, and they just went ahead and took it up a few more notches. Everybody was hyped for it, and then we had Jurassic Express. We're talking about Luchasaurus, Jungle Boy Jack, I believe is what he is officially, but Jungle Boy and Marco Stunt. Now then, here's the funny thing when it comes down to this particular matchup, because we have SCU. Each guy individually can main event. They can have a phenomenal singles run, but as a team, they are solid. They have chemistry. They have years together on the road all the time. So they're already a solid-ass trios. And then you have Jurassic Express, where obviously the tank of the group is Luchasaurus. He has a great martial arts background. We see it in his wrestling ability. He's also very agile. I can't talk right now. He's agile. He can get some height. He can do some flippy things. He doesn't do it excessively, but he's the powerhouse of the group. Then you have Jungle Boy, who is more of a hybrid than you would think for his size, because obviously he's elusive. He's agile. He's quick. Hits them flips, like he looks and makes it look good, and then he has a look that makes everybody just like stare at him. But he is the son of Luke Perry, so what the fuck do you expect? And then we have Marco Stunt, who is the smallest person out of the tandem, but he is the quickest. So from there, we have a group that basically goes levels down and so they can be more malleable than I would think most other teams. So this is an interesting matchup. But then watching itself, I feel like the actual experience between SCU shows why they are the most solid trios in AEW. Maybe short of the Young Bucks, but I see potential with Jurassic Express. Now then, how does this play in down the line with a possible trio championship? I'm not quite sure. But getting on to the match finally, because I've been dragging on, it starts out nice. We have a great exchange of chain wrestling between Jungle Boy and Frankie Kazarian. They started off nice and warm. Whenever we get Christopher Daniels in, the pace starts to change a bit. He's a veteran. We see some of SCU's chemistry flowing together with their exchange, but Jungle Boy gets Luchasaurus, and the Luchasaurus begins to wreck house. And we slowly go through where we get Scorpio in, and then we also get Marco Stunt. And Marco Stunt using his speed to the fullest. I mean, this little motherfucker is all kinds of quick. He's like a little Flash almost. And like I said, it builds fine, but eventually it's going to come down to the factor of whose chemistry works best. And while we saw a great number of exchanges, SCU, for the better part of the team exchanges, had the number on Jurassic Express, and that's who came out with the win. I was not mad about it, but what we did find out is that SCU, while being the heels in that group, they didn't have like bad heat or cheap heat, but because there was still a wave of cheers coming from the boos, but obviously the definitive baby faces were Jurassic Express. I don't know where we're going to go from this. Also, because this is the first match, we do see a particular record with these groups at least I want to say so. I believe that the tandem of Jurassic Express, if you just want to go off of Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy, this would make them 2-0 SCU. I want to think as a tag team, they are. I think I want to say they're also 2-0 or 3-0 now. But as you see, if you pay attention to whenever the names are being displayed in the bottom corner, they do have records for their wrestlers. They have a they have a singles record, and then they have a team record. And this goes into play with the next match, which I wasn't expecting to be the next match of the night, but we had Kenny Omega and Pac. Now then, this match, oh my fucking God. If that was the opener, if you would expect the night to start cooling down at this point just because of how WWE shows tend to work out, even though this was a much slower match, it was actually a game of psychology because in the beginning, just about every time that Kenny started, hitting his signatures, and you would think that he would get it, Pac had an answer for that, and it basically started tearing away at Omega. Now then, if you saw Being the Elite this week, you saw that Kenny Omega cut a very scathing promo against Jon Moxley, focusing on him because of him being injured, trying to live in the life of Kenny Omega, going to Japan, touring, all that, and everything. And you know what? I get it. I loved it, but honestly, Kenny was a bit too cocky. Especially since he's supposed to be on this redemption story, trying to make his way back up to the top of the mountain, of being on the top of the wrestling mountain in the new fledgling company, which he has not accomplished, obviously because Kenny Omega has taken a major singles L that prevented him from being in the main event tonight. And then obviously he's been fine with some of his trios matches. He had a singles match against Shima that helped him get back on track. So he has a solid record of about. He has a 2-1 singles record. No. He has a 1-1 singles record and a 1-2 tag record. I don't know. I gotta double check it again. No. Because I'm sorry, guys. This is bad. I know, and I'm rambling, but whatever. Point is the fact that this match fucking got me. Like it hit me on a deep level because in the end, even though Kenny was making his great comeback and we were seeing shines of the cleaner, it wasn't enough because the bastard took it. And not only did he take it, he choked out Kenny Omega at All Out. Oh my God. The crowd reaction was undeniable. And to think about it, Pac had his first debut match tonight or last night at All Out, choking out who everybody believed to be the ace of the company. Where does this go for Omega? I do not know. If you ask me personally, I feel like this is going to be the spark that lights his ass up to go back to being Kenny Omega when he was on top of the wrestling world. He's got to go back to the cleaner. Babyface Kenny is fine. It's great for the fanfare. But if we want Kenny Omega to be the dominant force that he was, he's got to get back in touch with who he was when he was literally the best wrestler in the world. But yes. That match comes out. Pac is officially in AEW with a winning record. Kenny Omega has once again cooled off, and we don't know where it goes. We didn't have a jump in at the end from a Moxley appearance, so unfortunately that's it. And also, we do not see CM Punk. So for those of us who are expecting him to be in the company, it's not going to happen this way. So it is what it is. But I want to say going into the next match, and again, my memory is off, but I want to say we had the Dark Order versus the Best Friends. Now, this is a feud that's been building since a Double or Nothing, when the Best Friends were attacked by the Dark Order after their first win. The Best Friends coming in here. I feel like they're going to get the win. The Dark Order comes out with their creepers, and they have more fanfare now than they had before. I feel like they are really getting themselves established. And then we're going to the match. The match was okay. This was probably the lowest match in excitement and anticipation going through, but they still managed to pull out a decent ass match. It was still great. Both teams are very well connected with one another. They have great chemistry, and they put on a nice little humdinger. I just wasn't as into it as I felt I should have been. And that's saying something considering the match that I didn't feel like I would be that into, I got way more into. But at the end of the day, the Dark Order pulls out the wins. I want to say they had, some help get into it, unfortunately. And then even after winning, they started the beatdown. But this is where that match gets its most hype, because at the end of the day, lights go out on the Dark Order as they were trying to drag away Chucky T. I think it was Chucky T. They tried to drag away Chucky T. Out of nowhere, pops motherfucking Fresh Squeeze or goddamn Cassidy. Fucking bam in his motherfucking pocket. Going ahead and going over the top rope to save Chucky T. And then I believe that this makes the Best Friends a new trios because they do have history with Orange Cassidy. So I'm just like, they took something I was like not caring much about and gave me more interest right there. So how could this go? How could this be going down moving forward with the Dark Order and the Best Friends? I don't know, but they do have a new ally. It's fucking, the people are loving it. It's fucking great. Honestly, this is all positive. There is literally little to no negative in this entire show, but. The next match we have is a Joshi's match for the buy-in, not for a buy-in, I'm sorry, I don't have to say a buy-in. The next match is a Joshi match to see who's going to be the fellow contender to go up against Nyla Rose for the AEW Women's title. Now then, that Joshi match, I think that nobody had any expectations of. I've seen what the Joshi women do, and they actually came as a prize office because it was a really good match. They have fucking heart. That's what I love about Joshi wrestlers, and it might not be as physically pleasing like it is with most American women because we do have a big women, but these Joshis, they give it all. They tend to be smaller, but it was still a great match, and it didn't even just come down to a finisher. It came out to being who's smarter. While we had a teacher versus student situation. And Riho came out on top. Basically, the only person to have a solid pin on Nyla Rose, mind you. So this also is building towards Breedable the story where we're gonna have Riho versus Nyla Rose. So the question now becomes: will the Native Beast be able to redeem that loss that she took to Riho at Fyter Fest, or will Riho once again come through the odds and take it? And take it against somebody who she's not expected to win against. Honestly, I'm excited for that. So the first show is going to be great, and I'm hoping this will be the main event match because this is going to be for a title. Now that I want AEW to give proper shine to all their titles, I want the titles to be on a level playing field. Like, yes, obviously the person who has the AEW championship is going to be the face of the company, but respect all your titles, respect all your divisions. The problem with the WWE is the fact that, titles make you feel less than when that should never be the case. Champions are champions, and there are divisional divides. There shouldn't be a particular tier just because one person has this title and these people who have these titles are just lesser than. That's not how it works. That's why I enjoyed what was going on when it came down to the Raw Women's title and the Universal title. They were basically being shown on equal footing as both women, but also as both women fuck that wrongs. But, that was for a brief period of time where I enjoyed it, also because they're fucking together, so maybe that doesn't count. Point is, Riho comes out, she's in it, that's fine. Now then, let's go into the match that I was most excited about. We had Cody Rhodes versus... Oop, I gotta go real quick. Now then, we had Cody Rhodes versus Shawn Spears. If you want to know the story, basically, when Shawn came to the company, Cody was praising him, but also called him a good hand, which is a term that triggered Shawn to attack Cody at Double or Nothing. And so, with that said, we've been having a feud between the both of them, building from everything for months now. Since Double or Nothing, they've been on it. I'm emotionally invested in it. This is like the best storyline they had going forward for this show. And so the stipulations being that both men can only have one person in their corner. We had obviously Shawn Spears picked Tully Blanchard, which is interesting because Tully has an extensive history with Dusty, as they have fought each other hundreds of times, and so now the question comes: who is Cody gonna help? First of all, Cody is a slick motherfucker because he basically has his people pop up in goddamn Star Trek gear. I fucking died. It was awesome, but also this it's also very basically it's kind of a cover because at the end of the day, Cody was really in this match to fuck shit up. And yes, it was a much slower match than most of the previous ones, but It was building two stories. Obviously finishing up the feud with Cody and Shawn, but then here comes the major question. How does MJF play out? Because MJF is the person that Cody picks to be in his corner, but throughout the entire match, fucking Tully Blanchard have been fucking up trying to fuck Cody in every instance, and MJF basically didn't do anything. At 2 points in time, he gets his ass laid the fuck out. And so it comes down to the question of, is MJF going to turn on Cody tonight? Because we all are expecting it to happen. We don't believe this whole him and Cody being best friends thing, and not saying they're not doing that in private, but only because of the fact that we don't expect them to, I don't expect MJF to like ride this shit all out, because again, he is one of the shining heels in the independent wrestling scene right now. Like I'm waiting to see how this is going to culminate. The story was built phenomenally, but at every possible turn, goddamn, Shawn Spears was trying to do every type of dirty action. I mean, we're talking belts, we're talking about using Tully, we're talking about hitting them with fucking taking them to not Dick Kick City, but hit him with a Johnny Cage low blow. I'm just like, fuck, my nigga, why? But at the end of the day, two things happened that I'm happy about. A, motherfucking Cody Rhodes won, thank God. But Cody won, and then we got a false flag situation about whether or not MJF was going to turn on him. So this is a story that's going to be working now. I'm loving the actual story building in matches, not just outside shenanigans. But also towards the end of that match, who the fuck comes down to assist the boy Cody? Double A, the fucking enforcer, Arn Anderson, hits a spine buster on Shawn Spears. I was done. That was my life. That was my fucking life, because now we know that Arn Anderson, a man who has made champions in this industry, is all in. All in with AEW. I'm just like, fucking right. Very promising. Great. The match worked out perfectly. I was done. I was happy. I was settled. I had everything I needed. Y'all didn't need to give me shit else. I was done, and then what the fuck do we get? We get de muertos. Muerte? I don't know. I can't really see Spanish, so excuse me. But basically, the ladder match of death. And oh my, no, take that back, because there was a match I'm forgetting about. We had the Cracker Barrel death match between, and I'm glad I almost fucked myself. So obviously, again, I'm out of order. I already begged for y'all's forgiveness. Y'all can be mad at me. But yes, we have that fucking death match. And it was entertaining. It did what it did. And honestly, it got much shine. The winner was Jimmy Havoc, whose name I couldn't even remember a couple days ago. It was a great fucking showing. And then now I'm just curious, what are these guys going to do now? Jimmy Havoc being the first out of the three to have a solid win in the company. So I kind of want to put him as the top guy in deathmatch format. And then where does this go for Joey Janela? Because now he's got 3 L's on his record. How the hell does he bounce back from this? We'll have to wait and see, because the bad boy will not stay down forever until he's dead. And again, I can be singing praises of every match. I'm not gonna do it this one because, well, I want to get to the really good shit. So forgive me, my people, for being short on it. But the match that I would think that I would be wrenching from the most should have been the fucking death match with the death match guy. No, it's the goddamn ladder match, because oh my god, the Lucha, like this is a fucking spot fest. Yes, but the Lucha Bros and the Young Bucks basically tried to kill each other. Oh my god. I thought that Ray Phoenix was injured and it would like stifle him in the ring, but no. Every possible, like between Ray and Nick, I don't know which one of those motherfuckers scared me more. But god damn, there's so much in this match to try and justify I'm be honest, I couldn't tell you who I thought was gonna win. To be honest, I thought that this was going to be the end of their feud, so I was going to bang up the Lucha Bros already. But the Young Bucks basically kept me guessing. Now, ring psychology, I feel like the Young Bucks haven't done a great job with doing ring psychology. So they basically work on spots. This was a spot match, and honestly, I didn't get any sense of of any psychology until the very end, because that goddamn Matt motherfucking Jackson, he pulled the mask off of Penta. That fucking pendejo. Oh my god. And you know what happened? Because when that happened, that's after Nick got fucked up because fucking Ray pushed that ass off the ladder onto some tables. He's out. Fucking Penta goes up there whooping on Matt because Matt went at Ray trying to knock him out, but it didn't stay down for long. Took off his mask. So guess what? He has the clear going. I'ma go up the stairway to heaven. Penta showing it, covering his face because the disrespect. And that's the thing about this Chicago crowd. They were in every match, loud and hype, and they know their wrestling shit because the moment that Matt took off Penta's mask, it was a wave of boos. But Matt fucking gets his ass slumped over. He doesn't land on tables like Nick did. No, he lands on a fucking ladder. So I'm like, oh my god, they're gonna die. They're gonna kill each other. Then they fucking hit the Cedar Metal on the motherfucking ladders on the side. Matt's out. They climb and they take the titles. And I love the way they say it too, because the Triple A Tag Team Championships. Oh, I felt it. It was a great lucha match. It was my match of the night, and just when I thought everything was done, because I had a prediction some time ago, I don't know if I said it in my videos, but I predicted that a certain tag team was going to come to AEW, and Lord knows, after the match, 2 masked guys come out and attack the Young Bucks. Who are these masked individuals? They're fucking Ortiz and Santana. LAX is in the building. Hold on. LAX is in the fucking building in AEW. That's what I'm talking about, cuz. So this tag team is stacked. I mean stacked jack like a goddamn flapjack. Woo, baby. I'm excited. Excited to see what happens with this tag team division now that they have 3 of the best tag teams in the world. I will be singing their praises until they show me or give me a reason not to, and I don't see that happening no time soon. We also get confirmations that there is going to be another pay-per-view towards the end of the year. It's going to be the full gear pay-per-view, which is after they start their Wednesday showing. So I'm excited because I want to know what this pay-per-view is about. Obviously, if you remember, Hangman Page had the full gear challenge where he was basically getting himself fit to wrestle against Pac at Double or Nothing. That didn't happen, but we did still get their match. Very important. We're going to get to it later. So now we're going to go into the main event. Chris motherfucking Jericho versus Hangman Page. The man trying to prove himself to be the main event at the top of the mountain versus the grizzled old veteran proving that he's not done with this industry yet. And this match I had actual low expectations for because I didn't have as much invested in the story. I didn't feel that Hangman was credible. And not that he wasn't credible, but that he had not grown enough for me to justify him being in the position that he's in. But, and this is the thing, this match, it was the slowest match of the night. Now, there's nothing wrong with it, because it did have to become a match of skill and who has the most knowledge, who has the best ring awareness. Because at every stop, both men were pulling each other's cards for a counter, but Jericho, being who he is, having the experience that he has, is the one who pulled out the win. Now then, obviously I don't have much to say because, again, least expectation, but honestly, it blew those expectations out the water. The match was great. It was slow. Jericho was older in his years, and for him to still be competing at the level that he is, he can't go against a young guy like him doing the kid. He can't do that too often. And Hangman fits his style much better. That's why we had a much longer match. It played out. It became who had the better knowledge, who had the better ability to react to the situations. And even though Hangman started to dominate going towards the end, especially on a bloodied and injured Jericho, he kind of got behold himself because after Jericho kicked out of the first Deadeye, well, it would appear that Hangman got a little bit hot-headed. He went to the well one time too many, and that's what basically hurt him in the end. Going for the final buckshot Larry, Jericho hit him with the Judas effect. 1, 2, 3. Jericho is your AEW champion. And honestly, I feel that's perfect. Because Jericho honestly makes the most sense. Now, most people want to talk down about the fact that they're going to give the WWE guy, the old guy, the legend, the title first instead of giving it to the new guy. Well, you're right, because Hangman still needs to establish himself. Now, Hangman trying to be the main eventer or trying to at least be looked at as a top wrestler is new. If you know him in New Japan and even in ROH, his record is not that solid. He has not been in those big name titles. And honestly, out of every member of the Elite, he is the run of the litter. So he does have a lot more to prove. But this match got him over in a major way because he can go and he can do a good story. He can build. He can get the crowd behind him. The crowd didn't hate him. It was honestly about even as far as who the crowd was supporting and against. Unlike a few months ago whenever basically Jericho taking out Hangman basically got Hangman boos because people wanted Jericho. So in the end, I think that this is a great way to build towards Hangman moving forward to prove himself, especially given the current situation with most of the guys in the Elite. Honestly, out of that group, the top guy happens to be Cody. Cody has a 2-1-1 record. He has two singles. He's got 2 singles wins. He's got 1 tag loss. And then he has a draw. So, out of everybody in the group, Cody's the one with the best record and the biggest push behind him and crowd support. The Bucks, they're on a losing streak. Kenny's on a losing streak, and then Hangman, he's currently 2-1. So that fits well. You know, I can accept this. It's fine. We do have a post-match scenario, and it's not and. The crowd is all cheers. Thank you, Jericho hits it, but Jericho still has to play off of his character. We haven't had I don't know the term. He hasn't changed who he is. So when he gets to the back of the ring, he has to be like, you know. And this is post-match show. You know, he's coming out. Yeah. This is what happens. This is what your first AEW champion gets. I don't get cheers and applause, champagne and caviars. I get the silent treatment. He's fucking passing by the Bucks. He's like, hey, guys, you know, y'all couldn't come and thank me. It's like, you know, they're like, you know, good job, congratulations, and everything. Yeah, but you can't thank me. He's like, is that what you really want? He's like, it doesn't matter what I want. You know why? Because I am the first AEW champion. Walks off. Continues talking shit all the way through the backstage till he gets like to a small little area where he just starts ripping on how he's being treated unfairly as the new champion. And that's fine. We also do get a post-match, a short little post-match briefing with Hangman. Now, I feel like this is what I haven't talked about, because I'm supposed to talk about the major benefits or the good things about how AEW presented the product. A, with their championship match, you could have lost by a count out. B, Aubrey Edwards, aka Girl Hebner, she was a referee with personality and was not taking shit. And she let it be known she will not take your shit, Chris Jericho. That is a major plus. Also, you know, so they're making it to where in a title match, there's no cheap way out. You fucking win or you lose. If you get counted out, it is what it is. You lose your shit. And then afterwards, we're gonna have a post-match briefing, just like how New Japan does, but they still need to work on it. I feel like they should copy the New Japan format, where it's a whole separate thing after every match, where, you know, guys go behind, and they have been doing that, and this is being treated as a sport. This is what the fuck I want. This is how I like it, but they need to work on it, especially in this particular one, because when Adam Page came out and he started talking, he basically wasn't saying anything, you know, giving a good idea where it is. Obviously, he's a man defeated, but also Pat comes out, and he's like, Hangman, you want to know why I came back to All Elite Wrestling? It's for revenge. Because, again, those two had a match before, and I believe it ended at a DQ. So we're going to get Pac and Hangman 2 in AEW. Alliterations. But outside of that fact, the funniest moment about the whole deal was whenever they sent somebody down to, you know, do a small presentation of Chris Jericho getting being presented to the championship, which I feel like they should have done it before. Like I said, that's only the small downside to my only negatives about the show. But other than that, the show was fucking fantastic. It was phenomenal. It was an A. The show did a fucking A. I would even give it an A+, but that is literally for perfection only. This show gets a solid A. There's no minuses, no nothing. The A is solid. It was great. I am excited for the show now. It did everything it needed to. I got surprised. I got pops. I had chills down, up and down my spine 3 times over, and now I'm ready to see what more they can do on a weekly format. Man, it's been your boy Dynamite D. I'm fucking tired. I need to sleep. Y'all have a good one. Peace.